Thank y'all for tuning in. We're looking for that magic number before we get started. I want to make sure I'm coming through clearly. I want to make sure we're coming through clearly. I believe that we are. We
Amen.
already got that magic number. That's one. Gonna get started just a little bit. I got my man, my brother-in-law, none other than David Stout. He also is a minister, but ministers David Stout. We just gonna talk like regular brothers today. We're not gonna try to get too deep, too spiritual, but we can't help it. We might get a little bit spiritual. We just gonna talk. You are on Man and His Purpose. It's the video podcast. We took it up element. We've been doing the podcast since November. I have been, and over this past month, we tried to upscale it. Our first guest. You can make any comments, please. Let me know who got any comments. We would most definitely show your comments. But my first guest actually was some of the men of my church, Kingdom Church, and but my second guest, none other than the one and only David Style. And we're gonna ask him a few questions. Before we get started, y'all do me a favor: like, share, comment, make a few comments, and be sure everything's going right on my end. Don't let the cowboy stuff distract you. I know we got a lot of haters out there. David Style. We got a lot of haters out there,
I
so
love
don't
it.
let that distract y'all. We're gonna get
Amen.
some good information. Don't let that distract y'all. Please don't. Please don't. Please don't. We just want to talk about a couple things, man, and his purpose, passion. We focus on three P's here: passion, purpose, and potential. You
Yeah.
got to know what your passion is. Sometimes it takes a while to unlock your passion, to unlock your purpose, and some things you're passionate about that you really might not be good at. And some things you're passionate about, it just might be a hobby. It might not be anything you need to do as a full career. And potential. We all have potential, and our job, my job, our job, me and David's job, we want to be sure to say something that we can help unlock men's potential.
Right.
Thank your sister tuning in. Thank you, Bay. Thank you, Pastor Toya. We appreciate you. Good
Good
evening.
evening, Pastor
Yeah.
Toya.
You get a
Good
little
evening.
feedback on your end. Okay, we'll try to correct that. Am I coming through clearly? We'll try to correct that feedback. All right. I think I hear a little bit too what's coming. So let me see what we can do about that. Get rid of those little nuances here and there. It
Yeah.
might be me.
Touch.
Yeah. We don't need nothing to sabotage.
Line that
But
up.
hopefully y'all can hear us anyway. But I'm getting good signal. Just when you talk, it squeaks a little bit. Okay. I'm gonna try to unsqueak it as we go. Thank you for letting me know. Man and his purpose. Purpose, passion, potential. Okay. All right. Well, thank you for tuning in, Adrena. Okay. All right. Man and his purpose. Listen, we're gonna talk about these three P's today. Me and my brother. Y'all, this man, I can say one thing about it, man. He is a promoter. He's a promoter from this, I don't know, from somewhere else. I just want to talk about you just for a little bit, man. You do what? PBS Solutions. What is PBS Solutions? What is that, real briefly?
PBS Solutions is something that my company, I just came up with it. I was sitting around. We was trying to figure out a name for a construction company post storm,
Okay.
post hurricane storm. So
Okay.
we was
Yeah.
putting it together. I had a friend named Jamal. His last name is Petrie. My wife's name is Braxton, as well as my brother-in-law. Shout out to them. And then also Stout. So I just put a PBS, and then I thought about PBS Kids, and so I just said, "Hey, let's
Okay.
run PBS
I like that.
Solutions."
And we're gonna talk about that some more. PBS Solutions. And y'all,
Right.
we're gonna talk about how he actually tapped into a passion and he probably know that he had, and he's on his own construction company or is a contractor. What is it exactly?
Yes, construction company. I I have a full construction company that services multiple jobs where we do concrete, cement. We do foundation work. Where we work in work for. We have contracts where we demo houses. We do etc. stuff. Pretty much anything that has to deal with building or remodeling. anything with construction, PBS Solutions, we got a solution for you. I
Okay.
promise you that.
Y'all hear they got a solution. And where you?
Yeah.
You in the Lake Charles area? Am I correct? You in the Lake Charles area?
Yes, sir.
What's your surrounding? How far do you travel out the Lake Charles
I
area? Because people
travel.
might
I travel everywhere. I'm
say,
expanding my horizons. There's nowhere I
I hear you.
won't go.
Y'all
The
hear
good
that?
thing
Nowhere it
is,
won't go.
the good thing
Yeah,
about that, Pastor Harris, is that you can
yeah.
when you build good relationships and you'll be able to meet people all around. You'll be able to provide a service, work
Yeah,
with good
okay.
partners, and just learn to find people like you with the same mindset. So you got to have people with the same mindset to be able to expand. So that's what
Okay.
God is doing.
Well, thanks. All right, y'all hear that PBS Solutions, and we're gonna talk about a little bit how it actually got birthed, how it
Yeah,
actually came about, and just a few things. Well, he is also a preacher. I'm a preacher as well, although we might not say sound like preacher. We might don't go into Hebrew, the Greek today, and all that good stuff. It's necessary. It has a time and place. But I like to say this phrase. We believe in raising men or building men, who just don't preach the heaven down, but know how to raise their family up. Because one thing
right,
to preach the heaven down, but another thing to raise your family up, man. You're a family man. You've been married, I don't know how many years,
uh,
13, 14.
no, we're going on 11 years. That's a good
Okay, 11
thing.
years. Okay,
But
he
we've been
got, listen, he
together
got that
12,
right.
13 years. So that's a good thing
Okay,
too as well. Shout out to
been
you,
together
Boo
12,
Baby.
13 years. That's right.
Shout
Shout
out to
out. I
Boo
mean, he has
Baby.
3 kids. His wife, he called her Boo Baby, Braylon, Braylon Stout. I was about to say Braxton, but Braxton Stout. And
Right.
man, just great relationship, man. David, one thing, he's a fun dude, man. It's never a dull moment around him. I remember the first time we met, and he come to me out at church and like, man, you like my sister, don't you? I'm like, man, yeah, man. And we started chilling and hanging, started playing basketball. So we
Right.
was tighter than me and his sister was tighter at first, man. He talked me out of Michael
Right.
Jordan shoes, some wind pants, everything, because he just has this
Right.
gift and he knows how to connect and network with people, and people just love him on the first sight. And everyone don't have that gift, and you really have morphed that into a whole nother level. I'm just proud of what you do in your business. He's from Tyler, but has moved and transitioned to Lake Charles. But I want to ask you this, David, concerning purpose. How did you tap into your purpose?
Uh
It's kind of a tough question, but it's kind of loaded. But I just want to know from your standpoint. To me, let me
well,
give my definition. To me, purpose is the why. Why am I doing what I'm doing? How can you help
right.
navigate another young man, or how did you tap into your purpose?
Uh, First of all, Pastor Harris, I just want to say, God bless you. Word
Work
call. I've been
call.
waiting to scream that. I promise
I
you, I've been
forgot
waiting
to
to
say
scream
that,
that.
man.
And I
Work
just wanna,
call. God bless you.
I
Check
just,
him
I
out
just
on
want to
you.
tell
Check
you
him out on
though.
Facebook. Yeah.
Right. I just wanted to tell you that. Thank you for giving me the opportunity, and on behalf of
Oh, bro.
me and PBS Solutions, I just want to let you. I see that you got your cowboy stuff back there, so I just want to let you know I'm still rocking
Oh,
that.
yes, right. That's what I'm talking
You
about.
know, I just let you know it's still
Yeah.
Cowboy Nation down here.
Still Cowboy
And,
Nation. Let them
and
haters
for
know.
PBS Solutions, we're gonna send you this shirt in the mail. It's a PBS Solutions. It's got God bless you on the
Yeah.
back of it. So we just
All
want to
right.
tell you thank you for that. That's the first thing.
All right.
So now we can get down to business, Pastor. We can have a little
All
fun
right.
while we're talking about purpose.
Let's have some fun.
One of the ways that I tapped into my purpose is pretty much uh, realizing who the source is in my life. A lot of
All right.
times, people don't know how to tap into their purpose because they don't know who the source is, what we was really created for. You know, a
All
lot of
right.
times
You talk.
we we
Yeah.
we can start from the beginning. In the beginning, God created. He created some
That's
things.
right.
He created the heavens and the earth. He was the first person to create light. He was the first person to
That's right.
create darkness. He was the first
Yes,
person
sir.
to do everything. He is the source. So, in order
Yes.
for us to find our potential and our purpose, to move past our potential into our purpose, we have to first connect it to the source. So, we got to know
Connect to
what
the
we
source.
created for. Uh, a lot of times I didn't tap into my potential because I didn't know what I was created for. Uh,
Yes, sir.
I know that God created me to be a husband. I know that God created me to
All
be
right.
a friend. I knew that God created me to be a man, to reproduce,
That's right.
and to be a father to somebody on earth. I knew that God created me to do that, but I did not know that the what was my purpose was to literally just do exactly what He created us to do. Be in His
That's right.
presence, be in
Being his
relationship with
friend,
Him, and let Him
build
be
a
ruler
relationship.
of our life.
All right, that's good when you said that, man. And you sort of got me thinking. I mean, we can find fulfillment, but it's real hard to find true fulfillment apart of Christ. Because money don't really equate to your purpose. Money don't equate to happiness. And I want to ask you this because you're from Tyler and you did move to Lake Charles. But how would you describe it? Transparent but not naked. I often say that. Got that word coined from my bishop. Be transparent but not naked. But how does a man continue to go after his purpose even though he made mistakes?
Uh,
Because sometimes mistakes will make you feel like I can't achieve it. I done messed up my life. I don't have a chance to get that career, that goal. It's not obtainable, and they feel like they don't have no purpose in life. How would you talk to that young man or older man, seasoned man,
uh,
however you going to
I
call
mean, just the first thing is to have the ability to overcome stagnation. A lot of
it?
times we become
Facts.
stagnated in our mistakes, or if we have failed, we become stagnated. So you got to change your mindset in the midst of making that mistake, or just a quick testimony. Even in my business, I have made mistakes even in my business, right?
All right.
So just to be transparent with, like the way you said, the first thing is that you gotta change your mindset. You can't be stagnated.
That's right.
You gotta be trusting in the ability of you moving forward. A lot of
Yeah.
times we second guess ourselves when we're moving forward and we're not being stagnated. We'll say, is this what God really want me to do? Did I
Yeah.
hear this? Is this you, God? And we'll move forward, but then we'll move backwards because of our mindset. We allow something that an obstacle to come up or anything. So check this
That's
out,
right.
Pastor. I'm doing all these houses. I'm doing all this
All
good
right.
work. I'm doing all
Yes,
of
sir.
this, right? And so
Yeah.
in the process of me doing this, I'm thinking I'm doing the right thing and being a contractor, and I'm thinking that I got
Okay.
everything lined up in that order, right?
Lined up. All right. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And so as a little situation came up, conflict on a payment, and so as we was disputing the payment, it came up that my license, what I charged a certain person, uh, it was above the dollar amount of what my license held. So
Okay.
therefore, I got in trouble, right? So when
Yes,
I
sir.
got in trouble, I had to be transparent enough to say I did something wrong, even though
Okay.
I was doing the right thing and I was trying to do the right thing. I was still found wrong
Yes, sir.
by law, but
By
also,
law.
but what that done was help me to line up
To get everything legitimate. Okay.
to
Yeah.
get myself even more legit,
Yeah.
to
Yeah. Even
allow
more.
myself to have better opportunities.
Even more
If
opportunity.
that
That's
wouldn't have
right.
never happened, I wouldn't have never been able to get where I'm at right now. PBS Solutions,
That's
General
right.
Construction.
So the mistakes you made, like you weren't trying, it just happened, but they end up really morphing into a miracle in a sense.
Right,
And I've been guilty as well, man. I've made mistakes. I've had jobs. I let go of jobs before I should let go of them. If I didn't like what I was making, I go work at another job, make $2. I want them kind of dudes. Listen, if I don't like the job, it's probably not fair. God just gave me a
right,
favor. Man, I go find another one, making good money. I wasn't worried about it. I go find another one. So
right.
many business ventures I tried to do that didn't work. And now we start doing things that are actually working. People think everything y'all doing working. Now I tried some stuff that did not work.
I failed. When I was in Tyler,
Failed. Yeah.
the good
Talk,
thing
brother.
about that, look, even in my process, in order for you to fulfill and overcome a mistake, you got to understand and you got to enjoy the ride. You got to enjoy the process too. You got to understand that
Enjoy the
you're going to
process.
fail. You're going to make mistakes, buddy, sister, friend, anybody. You're going
Yeah,
to make mistakes in this being an
that's
entrepreneur,
right.
even in a man,
Yeah, you're
even
gonna
in
make
your
some mistakes,
family,
man.
even with your kids. It's things that
That's
I
right.
have learned not to do with from having the relationship with my daughter. Then I have in Kingston, and then now Kyson.
Yeah,
You begin to learn wisdom with each relationship. It gets better and
that's good.
better, and
That's
that's
why I
the way.
like what you said. Learn wisdom. In each relationship, you get better, you get wise, you get smarter, and even in business, you acquire more business acumen. And we all make mistakes. No one is above mistakes. And some things I know for a fact I shouldn't have been trying to do it because I just wanted to do it anyway. It's
Right.
like the Lord would literally, He'll be knocking on your door, telling you the dream, vision, or through other people. You're not supposed to be doing this. Why are you doing this? And sometimes we just go against the grain and we want to do it our way because sometimes as men, we have a hard time. We know how to make things happen, but to let God unfold our purpose and our potential, it takes time. It takes time doing things a legitimate way, especially if you know you can hit a quick lick, especially if you know you can do something that might be legal, but it could be outside of God's will, and you know you can make things happen. How do you encourage a brother like wait on God? Because everybody ain't trying to hit this waiting thing because waiting,
Listen.
you know what I'm saying?
Also, though, listen. I have learned when it start getting
Yeah,
difficult.
talk.
When it start getting difficult, you really got a breakthrough coming. So you got
You
to
got a breakthrough coming.
understand when it get difficult and them times that you can't seem to get past that, you got the anointing inside of you that gives you a solution to difficulty
I
times.
hear you. Yes, sir. That's good.
What's in you
What's in you?
automatically taps in. Ask me how I know. Because
How you know?
when God formed us, He formed us in His image. He formed us in
In
His
his image.
likeness. He breathed
In
His
his life.
breath into us.
Yes, he did.
And guess what? When we messed up in the garden, God already had a solution
No doubt.
to the
He
problem,
had a
which
solution,
was Jesus.
which was Jesus. When we messed up, he got a solution.
So guess what?
He got a solution.
Guess what? When you
Guess
tapped
what?
in and you connected to the source, you already know you got a solution.
You can rebound.
You can bounce back.
You can bounce back. You can rebound. That's one thing I like about Stephon Curry. I don't care if Stephon Curry having a bad game. Guarantee, end of the game, he gonna shoot that shot.
Right.
Or he gonna be in the point of the center or pass it off. Just because you make mistakes, shoot again, go again. We all been there. We all done some things we should not have done, but don't get stuck at that mistake. And I like a lot of guys that get stuck at their place of mistake, and they just have their potential locked up. And about even more about your business, and you can kind of, go the way you want to go with this. But how did you like tap into this kind of potential of owning your own construction? Like you went from, I remember you was washing cars
Right.
and that's still good. You were striping lines, and that's perfect. Nothing wrong with that. But you actually started doing something like you never really done before. Like you never
Right.
been on a roof before. I'm like, what did David doing on roofs and with all these guys and leading them and riding golf carts? I mean, this is not you didn't start off doing these things. So how did that become a passion, man? Like what happened?
Well. When you're a builder, automatically you know how to put things together. A builder,
Okay.
somebody that builds, learns to put stuff together. Right.
Well, how did you become a builder? Unpack that. How did you get to do what you're doing? I mean, what happened? How did you morph into this? Because you didn't know you had this potential.
But I didn't know. But I did know.
Well, you did know. Okay, okay.
Okay, I
I
had
didn't know. I'm
I
sorry.
had the
I didn't know.
potential because I've been through the process. When I was in Tyler
Okay.
doing striping lines,
Yeah.
this is a business. So when you are in business, you begin to operate as a business owner. So what you do is you say, well, I started out striping lines. I started out pressure washing and washing cars.
Okay. Yeah.
I
Right.
was at the gas station and seen that the lines needed to be striped after I pressure washed it.
Okay.
So then I started
Okay.
telling people, hey man, why don't you let me stripe your lines too? it was really a way of me
So you
getting
talked,
money.
you asked them. So you had to move
Right.
outside your comfort zone. Were you comfortable doing that? Because some people are not comfortable asking for extra trouble. Or did you, or it just
I
came
wasn't.
natural to you?
It wasn't that I was comfortable in doing it. What I was comfortable in doing, being great. I was comfortable in
Okay.
saying, you know what? If I put my hands to it, I'm gonna put my best effort to it. I
You're gonna
wanted,
make it happen.
in other words, in business, a lot of times people will just do what they feel like that the customer needs. But
Okay.
if I was building, when I build you a house, I build the house
Yeah.
the way that I would want to live. You
Okay.
get
I
what I'm
got you.
saying?
Okay. Yeah.
So
Yes, sir.
when you take that type of passion and you transform it, I created this business. But also, I was doing this in my mom and them church when we went to on Houston Street in Glenwood,
That's right.
when we walked
Yeah.
into a building and it was burnt, totally burnt,
That's
destroyed.
right. Yeah. That's right.
I would be putting, I had already gave God this. This was something
Mm.
that I didn't know that was a part of my potential and my purpose. See, I didn't know this. I didn't know my
Yes,
purpose.
sir.
So I tapped into it because I
Hmm.
gave it to God when I was 14, 15, 16, 17 years old. I've been doing this at my mom and them church. Been doing flower
That's right.
beds, been doing sheetrock, been doing cleaning carpets, been doing mowing your yards, been doing your parking lots. Now do you understand? This
I
is something that
understand.
I had already gave God.
And but you didn't even know how it was gonna morph into something even greater and bigger, where you kind of the CEO of your own company in a sense. You know,
The
that's
storm
major.
came, right? God sent a storm.
That's right.
And so when the
Yeah.
storm came, he shook some stuff up. I was
All
working
right.
down here. I left Tyler, started working, and I was working at the plant. Uncomfortable working for somebody else because I was used to working
Yes.
for myself. But
Ain't no wrong
still
with that.
made the decision for me and my family. You get what I'm saying? For me and my
Yes,
family.
sir.
And then still biting the bullet and going to work and work for somebody else. So I was working for
Yes,
somebody
sir.
else for about 4.5 years. Corona came, they
Yes,
laid
sir.
us off. And when Corona came and laid us off, I was sitting around, just started back pressure washing my house. Got on a live video, somebody else started calling me, and then a hurricane came. When the hurricane came, I, I, went to a restaurant in the city of Lake Charles, Tony's Pizza, and said,
Yeah.
"Hey man, let me board your windows up." When I boarded his windows
Okay.
up for the hurricane, they had me on the national news. This is when God. This when you
Wow.
know you in purpose. This when you know you in your you done tapped into where God really wants you to be. So then I
Yes, sir.
turned around. They the national news weather channel. Every time they talked about the hurricane, you seen me in an interview talking about
Okay.
PBS Solutions.
PBS Solution.
Never been in a hurricane before.
Never been in a hurricane.
The last time a hurricane came was Rita and Katrina, and we was in Tyler, Texas, and we was at the church helping people come to the church. That's what I said in the interview. We got a little
Yeah, I remember.
backlash of it, but this is my
Yeah.
first time being a part of a real hurricane.
Yes, sir.
I immediately said that whatever I got to do to help these people, I'm gonna help them people. Then God opened up a door for me, right?
Yes, sir.
Then people started saying, "Hey, can you do my roof? Can you do this? Can you do this? Can you do this?" And you know me, I'm the type of person that's not gonna say that I can't do nothing, because I can do all things through Christ that strengthens me. Because I done
That's
tapped
right.
into
That's right.
who God really want me to be.
Yeah.
So I say, yeah, I can do it. But as I know what it looked like and the way that it's supposed to be done, but I didn't know how to do the roof, right? But
Okay.
as
See that?
but
Now
when I
stop right
started
there.
getting up,
Stop right there. Stop right there. You didn't know how to do the roof, and you wasn't scared to take on an opportunity you know nothing about. I mean, that to me, I've been like, man, listen, I'm over my head. Man, I need to, you know what I'm saying? And some people, it would
right?
stop some dudes because they feel like they're over their head. They don't want to mess up. And I can understand that fear. So to me, I would think naturally that'd be some kind of fear. How did you overcome that?
The overcoming was real quick. This is how I overcome it. I overcome it and said, hey, you not the best in doing roofing, but if you go get somebody that know what they doing in this
Okay.
area, sometimes you got to go get the person and delegate. In order to be a good leader, you got to be able to
Delegate.
delegate. You got to,
All right.
that's my role is to be the owner of the company, not the worker, the owner and the promoter. Yes, I do all of that. I love
Yes, sir.
doing all that. But my job is
Gotcha.
to be the owner, the leader.
Yes, sir. I
So
like
what I
that.
done was
Delegate.
went to go find somebody that was the best at doing roofs.
I like what you said because you bring it, you make it make sense where I don't have to be the best at everything, but that don't mean I can't help get someone who's better than me. In other words, I don't
Right,
have to be the alpha male in every area. I can be better. I can fall back and I can just partner with you and you can do this and let me do my thing. Because oftentimes as men, we like to be the main ones, but I think it can be dangerous because we need to get people who will help complete us, not get
right,
people who will compete with us. So,
right,
competition is out there. You don't want someone inside always trying to compete with you. You need somebody on the team that can help complete and complement the things that you're doing. And talking about passion, and one thing I like passion, I like potential, but I don't like potential because I know a lot of men we get stuck here and it just bothers me. I hate to see men just stuck at a place of potential. They
it's
got
a
so much
two-way street.
potential in them, but they just stuck. I mean, like, and some people just like hearing it. You got great potential. I don't want to just hear, I got great potential. I really want to have my potential to really maximize where I can really tap into my passion and my purpose. And how do we move men that might be on here, or someone's son might be on here, a wife might be on here, and they might want to talk to their husband or to their little boy. And how do we help assist men or something that we can say they can key on in where they can move actually from the place of just having great potential, like LeBron James came in NBA. He had potential to be one of the best of all time, but he
Right,
wasn't settled with his potential.
right.
He worked on his game. He worked on his free throws. He came into the league when I remember he played against the San Antonio Spurs, his first championship. He couldn't shoot. They used to leave him open. He couldn't shoot. He can drive and dunk on everybody, but he worked on his game. He kept working. Now he can shoot. Now he can shoot threes. He numbered the top 10 in three-point shooters all the time. So how do we move from the place of just having potential to actually doing it, being about it?
Right. Well, you said a mouthful right there. You know, a lot of times, like the way you said, when I looked at the word potential and I looked up the definition, it also
Mm.
has the very first thing that I thought, the same thing that you said, Pastor Harris, was it's a two-way street, man. Potential is a two-way
Two-way
street.
street.
It's definitely a two-way street. So the thing is, the word in potential that helps support potential is develop,
Develop.
process.
Process. Give me more. Come on, man. We need it.
It's projections.
Projections. Okay.
Just like the stock market. The stock market has the potential every day to rise or fall, right?
Rise or fall, man. You talking deep. Come on, that's good. Yeah,
It
it
just
does.
depends on how much work you put in.
Okay. All right.
When LeBron James, like the way you said, Ryan, let's bring it to men where all men can relate. Ryan
Okay.
Garcia had the potential to fight, right?
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
He had the
To fight.
potential to even get in the ring.
Yes, sir.
He had the potential to knock Gervonta Davis out.
Yeah, he can't mess with Tank though. Tank wasn't going to. But
But
I see.
he
Yeah,
didn't
that's right.
do it.
He
He
didn't do
didn't
it. He got the
fulfill the
potential.
potential.
That's right.
But the man that fulfilled potential was the same thing. We can use this same conversation with Gervonta Davis. Young men, I'm just
Yes,
trying to
sir.
help you out.
Talk
We can
about it,
say
man.
Gervonta Davis, he put in work. He knew that he had to be in shape. He knew that he had to put in work. He knew that he had to have endurance to surpass potential. He did not want to
Surpass.
say that I got the potential to knock Ryan Garcia out. He knew that he had it because he put in the work.
Y'all hear that? You want to pass the place of having the potential. You want to pass potential and put in the work.
You got to do that.
My brother from Detroit, Michigan, man, Elder Pastor Tate, he said, make the investment. In order to put in the
Make the
work,
investment.
we got to do what Elder Pastor David Tate said. Make the investment. You got to make the investment. You got to put in the work. You got to put in the time. You got to put in the energy. You got to put in the sweat equity. You got to put in the work. Man, let me
That's
tell
what
you
made
something.
me great. That's what
That's what
making
make you
me great,
great.
Pastor Harris.
That's what's gonna
That's
make you
what
great. This
that's what
business
makes me great
opportunity,
every day.
that's gonna make you great.
I put
Put in
in
the
the
work.
work, Pastor Harris. That's where work call come in. That's why I
I
tell
like it.
people. That's why I encourage young men every day to get up.
Work hard.
Don't be stagnated in your movement. Don't be stagnated in well doing. Don't be stagnated in what you trying to accomplish. You gotta put in work. I tell my nephews. I tell everybody that's connected to me. Work call.
Work hard.
Pastor Harris, you couldn't make it easy. The reason why it's easy and you pass potential and people say y'all make it looking easy that you blessed. The reason
Ain't easy.
why, because you
Yeah.
have put in the work.
You
People
so
didn't
right.
see when y'all was having to realize, say, we got to cut back on this spending to get to where we going.
That's right, man. You
They
can't.
didn't see you and your wife sitting down making tough decisions for y'all
That's
future
right.
when y'all could have
That's
been
right.
doing anything else.
That's right, man. You
Y'all
right.
decided to give your life all the way to Christ. You get what I'm saying?
All
You
the way.
tapped into you tapped in something past potential and you tapped into your purpose. So when you
That's right.
tap into purpose, you begin to stand and people that can't stand you, people that don't like you, people that they even see who you are. They see that you
Yeah.
have surpassed potential and tapped into your purpose
That's right, man. That was so
by
powerful.
putting
You
in the
said
work.
that. You got to put in the work to surpass potential. You got to put in the work because you can have potential to do all these things. And David, I don't want to just always be on the fence, like talking about doing it. I actually want to do it. You know what I'm
Right?
saying? Like sometimes you just got to take that leap of faith and just do it. Even if I fail, at least I tried.
I did it. Listen,
I heard
when I
Miles
got on that
Monroe say
roof,
this.
I didn't
We
get
got
on
what
that
happened?
roof. I didn't get on that roof because I had potential. I got on that roof because I was confident in what I was doing. I knew that I had picked the right person. The reason why I knew I picked the right person is because he made me, this is what he made me do. He made me learn how to do a roof.
So So yes, what I'm saying. He made you learn, so you know what to look
How he
for.
made me learn, I had to start from the bottom. A lot of people that got potential, they want to start at the top and don't want to work their way up from the bottom. A lot of times they don't want to go through that season of at
That
the bottom.
process.
Guess what? I'm the boss, right? So I'm the boss. What he was making me do, he was making me pick up the bundles,
Singles.
the
Yeah.
packets of shingles and take
Wait,
up
well,
the ladder.
that's
I had
hard
to
work.
take it up the ladder. I had to put in some work. And that was the first step of me learning how to do a roof is put your hands on something.
Put your hands on something.
A lot of us, we don't even want to put it in the work. We don't even want to put our hands on nothing.
Put
We
your
want
hands
it
on something.
given to us. The Hispanic guy told me, David, you think you're going to sit around and make all the money and I do the work? No, you're going to help me. That's what a lot of times the people want to sit around and watch everybody else do it and then show up at the end and say they done it. No, no, not in this season. The people that think that you need them in that, they put in your work.
I like you said that, man. You got to put in the work, and your mom on here, overseer, my mother
Mhm.
love, Janice Thompson. She said started from the bottom. Yeah,
I'm
I
talking
started
about,
from the bottom.
and guess
She
what,
said
Pastor
work
Harris?
hard. Yes, sir.
As I in the process, I was getting stronger by walking them shingles up
Yeah,
the
that's
roof.
tough work. That's
I I,
tough work.
I started with one. My fear of heights, walking on
Yeah.
the roof was I was more comfortable. The more and more I got on the roof,
Yes,
guess
sir.
what else? Then I went from bringing the shingles up to to bringing nails up, bringing the
That's
felt
right.
paper up. I start watching the process of how do you tear off a roof? How do you build the roof back up? Then when I got the process, then I start going up there and handing them the shingles as they putting the shingles on. God was teaching me how to do the shingles by watching them and putting my hands on something. I did not learn how to do a roof by myself. No.
Yes, sir.
But when I learned how to do a roof, I can do it by myself now.
Okay, see that? That's something. That's something. That's something. I like how you said that one
It's a
young man
skill
say
that I can
standing
never
ready
be taken away from me. A skill that never can be taken
can't be
away.
taken away.
So
Even
wherever
if you
I
don't do it,
go,
you know how to teach it.
I know how to do it.
That's right.
Because I went
You
through a
went
process.
you went through a process.
I
That's what
went through a
everybody say.
process of people knowing that you're the best and still not wanting to use you. I went through the process of people seeing that you might even need their help.
Hmm.
But
That's
but
right.
but but when I got done with that process, I started realizing the source and then who I was connected to was my father, and he owned a cattle on 1,000 cattle on 1,000 hills, rubies and
That's right.
diamonds. What you know how the songwriters, everybody else say
That's right.
he the man.
He the man. Y'all hear that?
He gonna
So he went
provide
from
me daily
purpose
bread every day.
every day.
He my master. So
And I like how you said that, man. I like how you said, you know, just extrapolating for everything you said as we recap. Started from the bottom, man. You just didn't start out doing it. You start out at the top, but you had to humble yourself too. Although you was the
right,
boss, you had to humble yourself. Like this guy know what he's talking about. You can't be one of them kind of CEOs or leaders or business owners where you think you know everything. Sometimes you gotta humble yourself to listen to somebody else. You gotta be willing to work. You got to be willing to grind, man. And I love this, man. I love to see young men who on their grind. God is doing great things in their life. And I just want to let them know
yes,
it ain't always about the money. I mean, because you can have money and still not have peace. Just because you got money don't mean you got purpose. And I heard Miles Monroe said this, and it just stuck with me, man. He one of my mentors, although he passed. I like to listen to him on
right,
YouTube. He said, you know what? Poor people always talk about money. He said, rich
right,
people spend money. He said, wealthy people, what they do, they make money. They
yes,
duplicate their money.
right.
So I want to have a
They
group of
get their
guys who
money
just like
pregnant.
spenders. They get
They,
their money
they make
pregnant.
their money have a baby.
They make their money have a baby. You just can't always talk about being on the fence. Money, money, money. Sometimes you got ideas that really can even if you're making less. Sometimes less is more. But if you're fulfilling your purpose, you will be, you're more apt to accept the less if it really help you fulfill your purpose. So fulfilling purpose,
So
that's what it's about. Man, you can make all the
so
money in the
check
world,
this
but if you're
out.
not fulfilling purpose, let me check it out.
So when you were talking about money, I just want to tell
Yes,
you,
sir.
if you follow the instructions, I mean, this is simple. If you follow
What's
the
the
instructions,
instruction?
you just decree and you declare simple instructions of life. Money won't be an issue for you. I started
Okay.
realizing that. And a lot of times we chasing the money and we not chasing good relationships. You know,
Just chasing that bag. That's it.
chasing the bag. I had to get off of chasing the bag and chasing and start being passionate about people. And a lot of times, we as business owners are dealing with people. We don't like that. A lot of times, behind closed doors, we want to be
That's
alone.
right.
We really want to just say, "Man, I'm tired of making all these decisions for people." But
Yes, sir.
if you deal with people, you are a people builder. So
That's
you
right.
have that in you to be able to build people. You get what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying.
I'm telling
And I
you.
like how
So
you say that, man. We in a relationship business, and man, I really appreciate you coming on this forum, man, and his purpose, passion, potential, and just in a nutshell, we just figured these P's will really help. And maybe something, I believe it's something we might have said that it helps put a spark into some man or some woman, some person that you can move from the fence and just talking about what you're gonna do, you can actually do it. And David here, man, like you say, he started from the bottom. He had to transition. He moved from Tyler to a place, with his wife and Lake Charles, and things have been up. They have been perfect. But for him to morph into the man that, he's being right now, we're absolutely 100% proud of him, and just want him to keep doing what you're doing, man. You're being a great father, mentor, man. You're a coach. I mean, you coached before. I don't know if you coaching now, but you coached before. Coaching now, I think we're on high school
Right,
level.
coaching at the high school down here. Excited about the
Yeah,
season that's coming up. Mentoring young
yeah,
men. I mean, I'm
that's
just walking
right.
in my purpose. A lot of times,
Yeah,
when you're in your purpose, you got to do what God tell you to do, man. You got to go
that's
where He
right.
tell you to go. You got to say what He
Go where he
tell
tell
you
you to
to
go.
say.
That's
He'll
right.
show up in you.
And that's powerful, man. And I know you can get so much, you can give so much wisdom to those young men, because you was a great football player, man, and you was class A, man. You was fast, you was quick, you was gritty, and you was hungry, man. And but just
Right.
real quick, because you have some dreams, and I got this shirt on. We're gonna about 5-6 more minutes. Shirt on by Big Papa Fashion Trends. Fashion
Yeah,
Trends. It was all the dream. I want to represent Fashion Trends right quick.
it was
But I
all a
want to say
dream.
this: you had a dream, man. You wanted to be an NFL player, and you
Right.
did. But not saying no names, anything, but that was your dream. That was your passion. You love
Right.
football. I watch you play, because every game
Right.
before you play, you would call me. You remember that?
Right. Right.
You would call me, say, pray for me, brother-in-law. I said, all right, man, and we pray, man. You were
Pray
ready, not
for me.
because of me. I
Pray
can't
with
take
me.
the credit, but you had a lot of people praying for you. I was just one of those ones. And
Right.
I know you got hurt. I was working that night, and you wasn't the same. You was
Right.
upset. You went to a dark place, and
Right.
and and you felt like part of your dream has been robbed, because technology wasn't as good as it was, you know, now as it
Right.
was then. And you
Right.
know what? Things could have been different now. But for you still to, be a young man, to really be in the position to seek to own your own business, because some people, they have a career and they still rebound on something like you doing.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? They still
Right.
rebound on something like you doing. So actually, you're in a favorable position. But how did you deal with that when it didn't work out? Because some young men might be thinking it's all about football, it's all about basketball, it's all about
Right.
baseball. But what if things don't turn out the way you think they should? What can you tell them, man?
I mean, some of the darkest places. That was like the way Pastor Aaron said. That was one of the. Some I tell people, especially young men that I'm working with, that was one of the darkest places of my life. Uh, Especially when I got hurt. I was trying to figure out. I was trying to say, God, why this, and this. But the more and more I talked to God, the better and better I got. Uh, at first, I was even resistant to even want to have a decent conversation with God, because I really was mad at God. I was like
Yeah,
saying, God, this me, God. I go to church, God, this and this. But the God
yeah,
kept on saying,
yeah.
no, uh, that's only a season in your life. And when I really started accepting the fact that, hey, it's life after football,
After
I had
football.
to accept the fact that it was life after football, because I started getting older, and
Yeah.
I just build a relationship with God. A lot of times, young men, we find ourselves being so stubborn and so the word
You
is
say it.
stubborn and,
You
and,
say it.
and
That's
hurt
it.
all at the same time. See,
That's right.
we have so many mixed emotions in the midst of a young man ever going through an accident and being hurt, man. I'm telling you right now, man, it is life after football. It is life, because your life is way more greater than football. And that's what God, that's what people started, when I would get prophesied to, that's what people would say to me. People would say,
Yeah.
man, your life is way more important than football, David. God was the guy. I couldn't accept it then, but the more and more I accepted the process. I keep on
Yes,
saying
sir.
it's just a big old process, man. Just allow God to put you under construction. He does everything perfect, man. All things work together for your good, and
That's
rehab
right.
is a lot more stronger. Like the way I was telling you, Pastor Harris, you already said that rehab these days is a lot more stronger. I
That's
just
right.
encourage kids to just don't make football your God. And,
Yeah.
and that was one of the reasons why God didn't allow me to make it. It was because
Yeah.
I put football first before I put God.
Amen. That's good. And you encouraging somebody right now because somebody say, you know what, preach life after football. I'm telling my son that now. Shout out to you. Thanks for tuning in. Lester, big soldier Alexander. He said
Right,
that's crazy. Those are thoughts of big dreams. Something happened like that. We end up in a dark place. It doesn't happen. I had to deal with that myself. And Overseer Thompson said this. Good relationship is today's currency. Man, these things are powerful. I'm glad you said that because it's life after football, life after sports. And I heard Charles Barkley say this. He said, you know what, you have a better chance. And I just try to give young man, because we have a young mentorship program we're doing here, group mentorship called Boys to Men, to
right,
MEND, Boys to Men. And we try to tell them, like, it's a greater chance of being a doctor and a lawyer than being in the NBA.
right.
Football different because it's still more, but still though, you have a greater chance, and like,
I
you could
teach
be
my.
missing out.
I tell my sons this. I tell you. We as parents. What really helps me too to be a wonderful parent is I might say little stuff to my sons, and then God
Yeah,
might whisper back to me and say, "You a handful yourself." You know, that's the type of relationship me and God got.
yeah,
But as parents, we I teach my sons. They ask my sons, "What do you know?" I give them the answer. I'm the one that's directing the arrows and
yeah.
steering them. This is what the scripture says. You
Yes,
are the
sir.
one that's directing them. You are the one that's protecting they soul. And so, as parents, we have to direct them and let them know that being the owner of the football team is the best thing to do. I don't
Okay.
mind you want to play football, Kingston, but I would rather you be the owner. I would rather you be a doctor or a lawyer where when you my age, you won't feel this leg injury, or you won't have to go through the bumps and the bruises that I had to go
Yeah,
through, and being in this football. So
that's right.
uh, uh, you could be 75 years old, Pastor Harris, and they can still call you Dr. Harris.
You're right. You can still be a
And
coach.
you
You
can
can
still
still
be
be a doctor.
performing surgeries at 75 years old.
That's right. You can still perform.
You
You can
don't
still
have
be
to
asking
retire
surgery.
as a doctor, but as a football player, your body only lasts so long. So,
So long.
as a community and as a people, we have to learn to steer our kids and let them know that this is not what you're banking on. We're not putting all this potential that you have into this one area.
That's right. That's right.
You're gonna
And
be
you
a
said
lawyer,
something that struck a memory, man. And we're gonna say this because I have another meeting in a little bit. But you said something that struck a memory in me. I have to say it. It's so funny to me, y'all. You probably know where
right?
I'm going. Y'all, David was hurt, man, and so we believe in the Lord, healing signs, miracles, and wonders. And R.W. Shembach is from Tyler area. So we went
Right,
to an R.W. Shembach revival.
right.
And
That's how bad
he
I
wanted
wanted
his
to play.
healing. That's how bad he wanted his healing. But lo and behold, R.W. Shembach was not there that night.
Why
He
wasn't
wasn't there.
Shambach there?
I don't know why Shembach went, but he had
Oh,
his
I was
assistant. And they said, this young man wanted prayer. And he said, I want Shembach. He was crying. He said, I want the R.W. Shembach to touch me. That man tried to lay hands on him like, no, brother, you ain't R.W. Shembach. That's just a story I remember, man. So you was definitely something else. But
but
you
but
had
but
passion.
also, you know, that's 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 that wasn't where the healing was at anyway.
Yeah,
Well,
but you were young, man. But we
after
still think about it
maturity
to this day.
comes, I wanted him to heal, but I should have just believed that the source was gonna do it.
But you say, no, I'm
You
sorry,
could have
brother.
done it, brother-in-law. I mean,
You,
Pastor Harris, you could have done it, brother-in-law.
but hey, but still, I want R.W. Y'all know what I'm saying? I want R.W. Now I
I
don't know how
want
you
to
got
share
that
my.
man, that
Come
man
on,
on his
Share
purpose.
come
Man,
through.
I've enjoyed being on this platform. And listen, this is what I want y'all to do, man. If you like this platform, it's been a blessing to you. I want you guys to sow into it. I want you to
Right,
sow into it. And some of our proceeds are going to be going towards our Boys to Men. We've
right,
relaunched it as of
right,
last month. We've relaunched Boys to Men, MEND. And your proceeds, some of your proceeds will be going towards this as we mentor young men. Because I believe when the men are all right, the women will be okay.
right,
That's what I'm hearing. Because the attack has been against men since the beginning. Adam. Nothing happened to
right.
Eve when she ate the fruit, but when Adam ate the fruit, both of their eyes was open and they got evicted from the garden. The enemy was
Adam
after the
said.
men, trying to find out who Moses was, try to throw all the babies in the river. When
Right,
Jesus was born, they tried to kill all the firstborns that happened. They could think they can. So the enemy is most definitely after our men. And these platforms is to encourage men who might be going through a rough season. They're down, they're depressed. And
right,
we just letting you know, brother, we ain't forgot about you. We know it's not a lot of stuff out there for you, man. It's not a lot of magazines out there without showing you how to get buff and how to get women. It's not a lot of encouragement out there. Not a lot of conferences out there. But me and David and some other men we're gonna have on Minister Scott. We have not forgot about you, brothers. We haven't forgot
right,
about you. We're here for you. Look us up on Facebook. Partner with us. Like, share, comment. Look
right,
up the Man Up community. Man Up. It's black and white. Man Up. We're sharing on my page. And if you want to be a blessing, I want you to sow into this because this platform is to help empower and to equip men to be better fathers, husbands, sons, and even if you're a lady, you're going to be married one day. We're going to have some information on marriage that can benefit you when you get your future man. And I'm just so blessed and thankful that David, Minister Stout, is on, man. He does a lot, man. He has a lot of gifts, the myriads of talents, a preacher, a teacher, rightly divide the word of truth, a father, a role model, a coach. He wears many, 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 many,
right.
many hats. And one thing I love about Dave, he always passionate. He's one of those players on your team. You would love to have him, but you would hate to play against him.
Right,
Kind of like a Draymond Green type of person.
right.
Not saying you dirty like him, but
Hey,
because even we playing ball, it's like you always you had this unique gift, and I want you guys showing you had this unique gift of holding people accountable. Like, listen,
right,
you play, if you're on my team, you got to play hard.
right,
And that was just a competitive nature you had.
right.
Even your sister, your wife said, I don't like playing with David. He get to, even y'all mess up family functions. You and
Right.
Kim, y'all fussing. ah,
Hey,
but you know what? That's a part of you, though. Ain't nothing wrong with that. That's part of your DNA. That's part of your
right.
makeup.
I accept it.
So that's right, man. And I'm glad you was able. And we're gonna have you back, man. We're gonna have some
Uh,
other guests. But we're gonna
Pastor
have you back
Harris,
too. Yes, sir.
also, I wanna encourage at least a couple, at least five
Encourage them.
entrepreneurs that's been streaming different ideas and at least a man men that uh, 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 have been coming up with creative ideas and don't think that you're going to move forward, but God is going to bless you. And I just want you to be able to sow in this anointing, especially under this anointing that we're up under. I promise you, if you sow into this good ground, man up.
That's
Uh,
right.
at least I believe that there's 5 entrepreneurs that can give a nice seed on tonight. Whatever God telling you to give,
That's
just
right.
let
That's
them
right.
be a blessing. Uh,
That's right.
uh,
And as you said that, I just want to recapitalize. A great portion of your proceeds will be going towards our Boys to Men. We're going to be
right.
doing stuff towards our young boys because sometimes you get at a certain age as a man, it ain't no changing. But if we can get them now when they're young, while they're developing, I believe we can sow a word of encouragement, sow time into them, finance into them. Who knows? We're gonna have a man up
How to
scholarship
teach,
one day. That's
take
right.
them outside of their comfort zones,
Take them
uh,
outside their comfort
challenging
zone.
on them. Uh, uh,
That's right.
this is going into good ground. They're
Absolutely.
teaching young men how to tie ties. They've been
Man,
consistent in neighborhoods. They're teaching young men how to open doors for women, saying yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, yes, sir, no, sir. They're teaching the next generation. So what we have to do is we have to sow into this next generation. I promise you, Pastor Harris, I'm trying to help today.
Yes, sir. You helping, man. You
Man
already
up.
help. Man up.
So
And can I get word call one more time before we get off of here?
God bless you. Work call.
God
I
bless
love
you.
it.
Work call. God bless you. Work call. Listen, we signing off Man and His Purpose. You visit the video podcast. Also, we'll be on a regular podcast. You can check us out on YouTube. Just look for Man and His Purpose. Purpose, passion, and potential. We signing off. God bless you. We love you.
God bless you.